It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Da 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 da. Preparing the Rebecca Edibinhot. You already know what time it is. It's Nick Boo Animations, and I'm here to pitch to you my idea for a Spider-Woman themed comic book. Now, obviously, for legal purposes, I have to say credit to Marvel for creating the Spider-Man character and Spider-Verse. And, thank you for you guys for your continued support. I posted a lot of these concepts on my community channel, so you might have spotted them there. But for newcomers, welcome. I'm just going to be telling you about, first the characters of the Spider-Woman lore and, a bit of what the comic's going to be about. So let's start with the main protagonist of the series, Rebecca. Now, a little fun story about this character. I actually created her during biology class. It was a random day, and I was bored out of my mind, and I just kind of created her, and I was like, actually, I kind of like this design. So I pretty much just created her from pure boredom, and it spawned into all this, and, I guess, shout out to my biology teacher, I guess. That's cool, I guess. So, pretty much, she has different phases of her spider suit. She has her early days, which is just a thrown together, just put together look that she put on just for the wrestling competition that would soon lead to her father getting killed and her getting into her phase 1 suit, which is heavily inspired by TASM 1. You ought to, notice from it. Honestly, I quite like the design. It's really nice and just, it's one of my favorites. It's pretty cool. Then, of course, after that, we get the Phase 2 suit, which is Rebecca's red and black suit, which is actually my favorite out of the bunch. Now, let me just get this off of my chest. I did not accurately draw the Phase 2 suit correctly. I just kind of used my pre-existing Phase 3 suit or Prime suit and just kind of put the colors on there. So here's a more accurate representation of it. As you might notice, is based off of the Alex Ross suit, which I enjoy quite a lot. So, obviously I kind of based a version 2 suit off of this. So finally we get to the symbiote suits. Now there are actually 2 of these, one of them being just kind of like a reskin of her Phase 2 suit, which, just adds on, the silver webbing and, a smaller logo. And, later on, because symbiote corrupts people, obviously, we get a more comic accurate suit, which, I quite like. It's pretty cool. Now, you might notice that I added soles on the bottom of her feet, which PSM actually made a good point, that the soles kind of help balance, like, the top-heavy kind of look that it has, because, just all white on the top area just doesn't really leave much to be desired for the bottom area, so I added that on there. Then finally we get to her prime look. We get to the iconic, bright, vivid candy red look that we get on her main part, and we got a purplish, blue that we get on her secondary part, which I enjoy quite a bit. I didn't want the suit to just be a blank slate, so I added some texture on top of it, as you might notice here and here. So pretty much that's just her suits. Now the character of Rebecca, she can be mostly serious most of the time, but that serious is kind of like a motherly serious, if you will. She takes a lot after her mother and obviously her father. But she does know how to lighten up the mood at times when it's feeling kind of grim. Now, I gave her purple hair to kind of signify, both, for the early days when she didn't have purple hair, where she kind of grows into being the Spider-Woman Sona. She kind of gets that purple hair. Also, too, I just like the idea, like kind of like the red and blue from the suit, kind of combined. It's pretty cool. Now we get to some what if scenarios. I know it's kind of early for that, but I just kind of drew these just for funsies. More like practices, we'll just call them that. Like practices on what certain things would look like in the lore, in the Spider-Woman universe. Now, if we have a 2099 design, which I so dearly love, you might be thinking, but why is there black on it? Well, if you kept up with the 2099 comics, or if you watched the movie, he had some heavy comic shading on it, so I kind of want to mimic that in some ways. I'm not good at comic shading, quite the opposite, but I'll try my best for this one. Honestly, it's really good. I love it. One nitpick I have with the 2099 design is that the suit logo does not look like a spider. I try my hardest to make it look like one, so hopefully it seems like that to you. It's a nice design. I like the web cape as well, but this is where you guys come in to tell me your thoughts, but, we'll get to that point. Then we have another one where if she just never got the suit off, and, we'll go into the lore and pretty much just, dissect, what happens during that suit removal scene. But pretty much this suit design is really cool. It's really nice. For a Halloween special I have planned, I kind of plan to have her wear a suit similar to this, but, a little less, a fish, and more just kind of put together in a way. Yeah, but, we'll reach that point when we reach that point, huh? And then we have her adulthood version, where she reaches her adulthood. She's a big girl now. She's raising her own kid. We'll get to that point in the comic where we get to that point. She even has a kid. But she's very much taken on that Peter B. Parker look, where she's just wearing a jacket and just some baggy sweatpants and just slippers on top. If you didn't notice, just there you go. And yeah, I just like this design because it kind of shows how far Rebecca has come as a character. Then we have her original girlfriend. We have Sally Brooks, which is pretty much the story's equivalent of Gwen Stacy. I really love Sally Brooks in a way. If you've seen Scott Pilgrim, you know where I'm going with the reference, but she kind of seems like a nice chow of the story. Just really, she's full of energy. She's really sweet, very kind, and she's just like a little bundle of joy. She's like if Sayori from Doki Doki just didn't have depression. That's pretty much what Sally Brooks is. Of course, with the complications of, the Green Goblin getting into the way and killing her off leads to her, not being in the comic anymore. But she does make some references here and there, and I do plan to build her up more as a character as the comic goes on. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy her as much as I do. Now, for these next ones, Dr. Doom and Rhino, you know what? I don't think I can do this today, guys. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. I'll just, I don't know, post on YouTube that I just couldn't do the video today. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gone. You know what? Actually, I got an idea in store. I have a good friend that goes by the name of Baja Radio. He created the characters in the first place. Sort of like he owns them 75, and I just own the 25% to just put them in the comic. So, I might actually invite him over to help me out and try and explain what is going on with these characters. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I introduce to you Baja Radio. Take it away, buddy.
Thank you, Nickapoo, for that boring-as-hell introduction. Before we start, we must ask, what truly is a Dr. Doom? Is it the mask? Is it the shoes? What makes Rhino a Rhinoceros Sundaicus? Did I pronounce that right? I think I pronounced it right. I think I pronounced it correctly. All jokes aside, I did help Nickapoo design these characters, so I'm gonna go through their origins really quickly. So Dr. Doom over here has a baby and fucking dies! This basically leaves his now older daughter to, I don't know, do fuck whatever. And then she finds Spider-Woman. And she's like, holy shit, you killed my fucking dad! And you made him fucking die! Monster. One funny fight scene later, and they become friends. Yippee! Our favorite horned mammal, Rhino, starts off as a regular human being. He gets bullied, he gets made fun of because he's a nerd.
Rock, paper, ice pick.
Bro is not physically strong. Bro gets the hose.
Oh, what? It's too hard to get the hose.
Wait, I think I'm describing the people who are watching this. So Rhino accidentally stumbles into a chamber and gets fused with Rhino DNA. He breaks out the chamber and later on meets Daughter Doom and they become friends instantly. Rhino's personality also changes too. He becomes less of a nerd and more confident in himself. A bit too confident. Getting that out the way, I just want to talk about the main stuff that I've been working with Nick on. Here are all the characters that I will flash on screen. You know, they're going to be on screen right now. I helped him design those characters. I helped him design some of those villains, and the original sketches that are made by me, by the way, will be posted on his community tab. I do want to talk about a potential spin-off series that I do want to do. It's basically Daughter Doom, Rhino, and another character, Hammerhead, which is introduced after the whole Beetle fiasco, going on adventures, trying to bounty hunt other villains that aren't really mentioned in the Spider-Woman comics. Characters such as Prowler, Spot, Vulture, etc., etc. It is going to be drawn in my art style and is going to be mostly written by me. Just a heads up, there are going to be some very obscure Spider-Man villains that will be represented in this series. But you know, I'm going to leave that as a little present, as a little treat for you guys. You know, you're going to have to read the comics to see them. You're going to have to see who they actually are. I am taking a more comedic tone with the spin-off series rather than just being more serious like the main Spider-Woman comics are. Also, a lot of the villains in the spin-off series are now going to interact with Spider-Woman. It won't affect the real canon, even though it does happen in the same universe. The spin-off series is more about fleshing out the world and fleshing out the characters and getting an opportunity to see other villains that wouldn't really make it into the main storyline. But it will be a while until those spin-off comics actually do start to come in. So in the meantime, I'll just have Nick explain everything else. Alright, back to you, Goofy.
Thank you again, Baja Radio, for doing my job for me. Also, by the way, this is recorded a little bit more of a month after the previous recording, so what you heard is maybe inaccurate. I don't know, and I don't care. So we're just gonna move on I just, recorded this segment yesterday. Alright, let's do it. Woo! Also, if you guys are wondering, Nick, because you recorded this, a little bit later, did you change your mind about the Halloween special costume for Rebecca? Yes, here it is. Now, shut up, Goofy. Now, because Sally is dead, I made a new, boyfriend for, Rebecca. Are you proud of me? His name is Matthew. He's, British. So, he's gonna talk like Dan TDM. Hey guys, Dan here from the Diamond Minecart, and I'm gonna shove this diamond up my ass. Next we got Venom. Obviously the best Spider-Man villain out there. He's using everything under the sun. I wanted to make him a little different, just, not a big old friggin' 19-inch man, funny guy. I wanted to make him a little bit more akin to the 2099 design, which is very slept on, and kind of add the classic features to it, and this is kind of what I got. A more slimmer build, but still keeping those classic features that we know, like the big old emblem and all that. And you might notice that he is not Eddie Brock this time, and instead he is Eric Rios, which, a 27-year-old, he was a close friend of Rebecca, and now he's bonded with the symbiote. So now they're best buds now, they're pals, I wanted two phases of the suit. One phase being just kind of like this weird, kind of like a feral animal almost, because it is missing a key element of the symbiote that is still inside Rebecca, sort of like something shown in Ultimate Spider-Man, or hell, even in the new Spider-Man 2 game. which there's gameplay background of, if you didn't notice. So yeah, once he gets that freaking extra bit of symbiote, he pretty much turns into the modern design that we all know and love, and you know, he's a silly guy now. Up next is our favorite goblin guy, as previously stated by Baja Radio. He did create this design, and I just kind of put it in my style, but this is the new Green Goblin. We wanted the guy from Venture Brothers, Monarch, to voice Green Goblin, because we just thought that it'd just be a match made in heaven, honestly. And, you know, it's really cool. And you might be thinking, but where's Hobgoblin if there is a Green Goblin? Well, we'll get to him in a little bit. Just be patient. Just be patient, Pookie. I promise, you'll get him soon. Anyway, now we got Stoner Lizard. We wanted to do it very different from the classic lizard look. I mean, obviously we know that the lizard is this giant freaking lizard guy, pretty much just Godzilla, just like, you know, his midget brother. But we wanted it to be different. We wanted to add more of a personality to the lizard, other than just it's a giant hulking beast who, you know, eats bugs and stuff for a living, you know. I honestly really love the concept. Another fantastic design by Baja Radio. Love the guy. He makes so much cool concepts that without him, I don't think the comic would have been, you know, as interesting, you know. I don't know, it's something about it. It's just so freaking charming. I don't get it. It's really funny. Now we got Electro and Mysterio. If you saw my casting, you might know that Electro is gonna be voiced by funny scout guy from TF2, so he's gonna sound like he comes from New Jersey, which honestly fits the character of Electro really well. These are probably the first ever concepts I did of villains, so just to let you know. Also, too, I made Mysterio, and he's going to be voiced by everybody's favorite YouTuber, Cepello. So, obviously, he's going to be an Hispanic Mysterio, which we haven't really seen yet, which, you know, is a cool little difference between my comic and, you know, the other Spider-Man comics out there. Just, like, giving, you know, villains, like, different authenticities, I guess you can call it. These two designs I came up with on my own, purely. I honestly love them, so, yeah, hopefully you like them too. Also, if you're wondering why Mysterio is so goddamn thin, like, give that boy a sandwich, is because I wanted Mysterio to kind of be like Scarecrow in some ways, but also keeping that silly vibe that Cepello will probably bring to the table while, voicing him. So, you know, funny fishbowl guy and funny, electrocution guy. Next, we got Funny Morbin time, man. It's Funny Morbin time. Obviously, this is, very, like, Man-Bat from, DC, but I don't know why, I just thought the, you know, idea or concept of a vampire is a little silly, especially when we're talking about this comic. I wanted Morbius to be a force of nature. You don't know what he is, where he came from, you don't know his origins, nothing about him. He is just there. He is a looming presence throughout the entire comic, and I want to make that clear. So, I don't have much to say about this guy, other than I really like the concept. It looks really good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. Yeah, it's Morbin time, dude. It's funny Morbin time. Next, we got Kraven the Hunter. Now, this is another design that I came up by myself. Kraven is going to be voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Look, I know that I probably won't be getting a movie or a TV show with these actors on there, but if there ever was, I wouldn't want Arnold Schwarzenegger to be, Kraven, because it's a match made in heaven. I don't know why people haven't done yet. Anyway, I wanted to be kind of like the Marvel Spider-Man 2 Kraven, but not really. I wanted his thing to be like he's not dying of cancer like in the game, but instead he just wants to hunt the biggest game before he retires, like, permanently from the hunting biz. Because, you know, he's still got a good few years left, but I mean, you know, he just wants to take it easy for the, you know, remaining portion of his life. So, that's what I kind of wanted to do with Kraven. He's just a battle-hardened guy who's just looking for the biggest game of them all and just mount the head on the wall and just feel like his life is completed. That's pretty much all he wants. And now, ladies and germs, it is Scorpion time. We love Scorpion. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but that doesn't look like Scorpion at all. The only things that look relatively alike to Scorpion are some parts of the armor and the tail, which, yes, you were absolutely right, but that's what we were going for. Came to me with this design, and I loved it. Pretty much just take Scorpion and give him a little bit of Japanese flavoring, and that's pretty much what you got. Just Scorpion that's Japanese flavored. Mochi balls. In the story around where Rebecca gets the symbiote suit, I'd like to imagine that Scorpion is kind of like her teacher in a way. Like, originally he's an assassin hired by Kraven the Hunter to pretty much hunt her down, kind of like, just doing the dirty work for him, just like to get more info. But instead, Scorpion finds out that Rebecca doesn't know how to fight like a true hardened Japanese warrior. So he pretty much teaches her in the ways of the Scorpion, pretty much getting her to get a bit of that Scorpion juice in her. No, not like that, not like that. It's these things on the arms. It's the venom, dude. Don't get your head in the gutter. Pretty much leading her into this freaking trip fest. I think has some art of it. I'll put it up on screen now. It's just a huge trip fest, and honestly, it kind of fits the character Scorpion well. Pretty much kind of diving into Rebecca's pain and allowing her to use that to her advantage. I just feel like that's what the character Scorpion will be, and what I want him to be in the story. Just a mentor that'll help out Rebecca. Now, this next one, surprise, surprise, is actually by Finn Meister. He kind of came to me with just the general concept of making Dr. Octopus a woman, and we did see that in Into the Spider-Verse with Olivia Octavius, but I wanted to do it a little bit different this time. For Octavius, I wanted her to have like a little time in the comic where she is controlled by the arms, and eventually Rebecca does get the arms off of her, or just, uses, kill code to kind of deactivate them or something. I don't know, but I'll probably come to that conclusion when we get to the comic, actually. So I guess stay tuned for that. I don't know.
Dr. Octavius! We have to shut it down! Please tell me how!
Peter Parker. Brilliant but lazy.
Shut the fuck up and look at what's happening!
Next we got Black Cat, and now I know, how come, why does she have a cat face, bro? Why she look like that? Why she's just not a woman in a latex suit? That's exactly why. I did not want another woman in a latex suit. It's too much. It's been done too many times. I like how Marvel Spider-Man handled her. She's independent. She's an independent woman who can do stuff, but you still simp for her. I feel like I wanted the same sort of effect with Black Cat. I did not draw a face for her yet, but if you can see around her neckline, that's a mask. That is a mask similar to something that you would see from Miles Morales from Earth 42, I believe it was. I might need to pop it up on screen from the wiki. Editing Nick, can you do that, please? Thanks, man. But yeah, overall, I think I might have cooked with this design. I don't know. Let me know what you think of the design. Do you think I cooked or not? Damn, I think I might be cooked. Next, we got Beetle, the biggest hater in the comics. She would literally go out of her way to build a time machine, go back to the day that Rebecca was born, and kill her. That's how much of a hater the Beetle is. You know how Venom is everything Spider-Woman isn't? Well, Beetle is everything that Spider-Woman doesn't want to be. She is the biggest hater. She hates how Rebecca walks, the way that she talks. She hates the way that she dresses. If she catches diss tracks, it's gonna be direct, man. I don't know if I did that right. I may need to check it again, the lyrics, but I don't know. You get the point. The point is, Beetle is the biggest hater in the comic, and you can obviously see that from the moment you see her. She is Jamaican. That's about it. That's all I wanted to say. But yeah, overall, I love Beetle so much. She's the biggest hater there is. But you can't help but just, like, love her for it, you know? It's like, you know, but, like, you know, this is not gonna last long. So like her while you can. Yeah, I think I might have already stated this, her plan, but, yeah, it's not good. Next, we got Hammerhead. Me and Baja Radio did not want to, do just a man with a giant forehead, like bald-headed forehead. We wanted him to actually be fused with a hammerhead shark. I think this design is pretty cool. He comes from the Hawaiian territory, so he's Polynesian. He's pretty chill. He's a pretty chill guy. He's gonna be part of, like, the main three, which would be him, Doctor Doom, and Rhino. So I guess this version of the champions, I guess, but not really. But I don't know. You can, you know, take it however you want. But honestly, design is really good. I like it a lot, and he's gonna be a funny character in the comic. Next, we got Kingpin. I only did a bust when I drew him, so I'm gonna put up the original sketch on screen now. It's a better, like, look at him. He has a robotic arm, probably due to some shady business. That'll probably be explained in the comic, so you're gonna have to wait. But Kingpin, his main motive, like, Rebecca's main motive is power and responsibility. Dr. Doom's main motive to do good is just for fun, you know, she just does it because she's bored, probably. Kingpin, his desire to do what he does is all about money. He just loves money. He loves that green, baby. His business is booming, you know? He's Mr. Boomin' Man. We like to call him that around here. He's Mr. Boomin' Man. That's his main motive. Nothing else. It's just money. And, you know, honestly, I love the guy for it. I mean, and these times in 2024, yeah, money is pretty cool, man. So, yeah, cool guy. We love Kingpin. Okay, so next is everybody's favorite event.
Dude, you didn't talk about Matthew enough.
Oh, really? I gotta talk about him, dude?
Yeah,
Come
you
on.
only talked about him for like a minute or so, and then went to a funny Dan TDM joke. Can you explain a little bit more about him, please?
Alright, fine. Since you asked politely, I'll do it. Jesus.
Okay, alright, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Thank
okay,
you.
you're welcome.
Alright, cool.
Can you close
Fine.
the door on the way out?
Cool.
Alright, cool. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to talk about Matthew before I talk about Carnage. So, I guess I'll mention how Matthew is a very supportive, loving boyfriend. Before he became Rebecca's boyfriend, he was there as her friend. It was probably gonna stay like that, if, Sally didn't die, but because she did die, yeah, pretty much, they learned to bond with each other a little more, and now they're dating, you know, and that's pretty dang cool, I gotta admit. God, I'm trying to think of more stuff to talk about. I was kind of forced into this position. My evil doppelganger, just like, you know, snuck up on me. So, yeah. But yeah, Matthew, he's really cool. I like him a lot. He in later comics, he's probably going to be working as a substitute or like a part-time teacher. So yeah, expect that to be in the comic. Anyway, hopefully you guys like Matthew. He's cool, I think. Next up, we have Carnage, the lean monster. We all love the lean monster. Now, when it comes to the personality of Carnage, pretty much almost identical to the comic counterpart, but for the design, I wanted to take some inspiration from the Xenomorph, as you might guess from the shoulder blades, maybe, or maybe the 6 fingers, or maybe even the thing that sticks out the most, a tail, which is very reminiscent of the Big Chap tail, or just the tail from AVP, where it has a giant spear on the end of it, which honestly fits the character of Carnage pretty well, and I'm very excited to use him in the comic. I'm stoked. I love this guy so much. I love the lean monster. I love lean. So this is going to be kind of a speed round of sorts. Next we have Prowler. This is going to be in the spinoff comic, but pretty much we want to turn it from a boy to a female, and honestly, would smash. Next we have The Spot, and you guessed it, Hobgoblin. The Spot, pretty much almost identical to his Across the Spider-Verse counterpart. He just wants to be taken seriously, which, I can't blame the guy. He does look like a Dalmatian, so, I would want people to take me seriously as well, when I have to say that I'm a villain or whatever, I don't care. And then there's a Hobgoblin, which, if you could see by his belt, that is an AI strap, which pretty much has the embodiment of the Green Goblin in there. Why the is there sirens right outside my window while I'm recording? That's really good. That's nice. Really nice. Anyway. But yeah, honestly, I quite like the design. The Spot pretty much hasn't really been changed that much, and Hobgoblin, still a lovable guy that we all know and love. And next we have Vulture, which is just an old viejito. That's really about it. He's pretty much just a joke character. And then finally we have Kid Deadpool. Now, you might be wondering, why the hell is she so bruised up like that? Well, that's a good question. She's been in a fight with multiple other villains. Why? Because she just feels like it. That's really about it. That's all I can really say. And she has a missing finger too, so that's lovely. Now that's really about it for the characters. I don't really want to talk about the other characters because I want to save them for the comic. Or maybe, if this gets enough attention, maybe I'll make another video about, dissecting more of what the comic's going to be about. But for now, this is what you're going to be getting. But the story, it's pretty much, just Spider-Man as you know him, but just put the characters in that place, and pretty much you'll just have what the story is going to be about. Rebecca going through this pain of losing her father, using that to become more than just this symbol for vengeance, but a symbol for hope in a way, and pretty much just getting life by the horns, and pretty much just trying to live out day-to-day life, just trying to make up for that one time that she let it slide. She's not going to let that slide anymore. But, overall, that's pretty much it. That is about it for what I have with the comic. Now, if you guys like this video, maybe like it, comment what you think about the comic, and maybe subscribe if you're, eager to get more Spider-Woman updates. And if this video does do well, I might get, encouraged enough to actually make the comics. So, if you guys want to see the comic in action, then please leave a like, leave a comment. I greatly appreciate it in advance. You guys rock, and I hope y'all have a fantastic day. So, see y'all in the next one. Bazinga!